Really exciting. I'm not alone here in the South Bay. Okay, the next guest I'd like to come up really quick. She has been on the leading edge. She's been doing this for at least 6 months, we're not just about making America great again, but making California great again, making California shine again. So she's been how many of you have been to those awesome Trump events there at Long Beach, there on Anaheim Street? Okay, I know, Robin, you've been to that event, haven't you?
Yes,
on Long Beach? Absolutely. So here's a lady who is the bigwig making these things happen. She's going to be talking about Make California Great Again. Please give a round of applause to Joe Rykoff. Come on up.
First, I'd like to thank Arthur for giving me the opportunity to speak here tonight, and I want to thank you so much for coming out. I have a list of things that I want to talk about, and I hope you guys don't mind, but there's like kind of a lot here, but I will talk as fast as I can. So during the presidential race, I was the media director for LA County and Orange County for Donald J. Trump for president. And so after Trump was elected, we were all so really excited, and none of us wanted to stop working for President Trump. So we segued from Donald J. Trump for president to Make California Great Again, Inc. And so I'm the chairwoman and communications director for Make California Great Again, Inc. Make California Great Again, Inc. is comprised of many of the grassroots people, as I've already said. We have established, myself with the help of Andy Reeder, and Andy, if you want to stand up.
Andy, stand up.
Andy Reeder, he's an amazing young man. He's Make California Great Again's trend strategist, and he's also the leader of the Millennial Coalition. So in Make California Great Again, we have nearly 4 times the number of coalitions as Donald J. Trump for president had during the presidential race. So during the presidential race, we had about 11 coalitions. Now we have 42. Wow. So we've been working very hard, and Andy Reeder has been working with me in raising up the coalitions. So each coalition has a leader. 2 of them have a director. And the purposes of the leader and the directors is to go out into their respective communities. So for instance, we have the American Black Coalition, we have the Mexican Coalition, El Salvadorian Coalition, Guatemala Coalition, Cuban Coalition, Puerto Rican Coalition, and it goes on and on. And so the purposes of these leaders is to go and engage their communities via events, via rallies, via social media. And my friend here, Andy Reeder, he is really awesome in social media, and he has connected us to people that are very well known in the Twitter world. And you know, I'm not from that generation, as you can see, so we really need our young people out there, you know, fighting for us, fighting for the Republican Party. And so we're so grateful to have Andy Reeder as part of Make California Great Again. So now back to my list. Okay. And I've talked about the leaders, so, okay. So one of our main goals within Make California Great Again, thank you so much, is, of course, voter registration. I was approached by another, I call him a young man. I don't know if he's a young man, but his name is Matthew Woods. And Matthew, you can stand up. In the trenches during the presidential race. He organized with Randy Berger, and I don't know, Arthur, if you were part of those rallies as well, but he organized many rallies to challenge the liberals, to challenge the Democratic Party, and he did a really great job. So about a month ago, Matthew Woods approached me and he said, "Joe, I have a desire. My desire is to raise 1 million new Republican Party voters in the next 4 years." Great. And immediately I understood his value to Make California Great Again, and I said, okay, I am appointing you voter registration director. Woo! And,
1 more minute, okay.
Our goal...
1 more minute, okay.
1 more minute.
Yeah.
Oh, so our goal is that Matthew will create a leader within every county of California who will be in charge of raising committees to go out and do voter registration every week, every Sunday, every Saturday, and just to get new Republican voters signed up. And I guess
tell us your contact information, the website, everything, so people can start getting on board with what you're.
Fabulous.
Please.
So, my name again is Jo Reitkopp, and my first name is spelled J-O, my last name R-E-I-T-K-O-P-P. My number is area code 714-615-0615, and my email is JoTrumpCA for California, so JoTrumpCA@gmail.com. And you know, I want to give recognition also to Christine Williams, who is our Taiwanese coalition.
Oh, wow.
So you could just
yeah. Way to go. Wonderful.
Okay, well, guys, thank you so much, and thank you. I appreciate coming here. Thank you, Arthur.
Yeah, just about the button. You're good. You're good. Thank you so much, Joe. Okay, I'm going to add this. So you heard the 714 part. She lives in Orange County, okay? And you know how hard it is to go north on the 405 at 04 in the afternoon. And she's willing to be here, okay? Because she sees what you are doing to make California great again. Okay, so please make sure you get in touch with her, find out what you can do to help out. We really have a chance here. I mean, illegals are leaving, so that means fewer, Democratic voters, essentially. So that's part of it. The next phalanx, I'm hoping, people have mentioned Gorsuch. There is a case now going through the Supreme Court about forced unionization dues, because there was Friedrich v. California, which would have ended the forced unionism, which is the biggest fundraising arm for the Democratic Party. Hopefully that's a case that'll go through by next year, and they'll strike it down, so the CTA is not going to have their easy money pot. $300 million they raised. $300 million. So is it any surprise that David Hadley got blown out last year, that we saw other Republicans barely holding on, and we don't take territory, we're just holding on to what we have? That's going to change. So I've got 2 more guests before we have our featured speakers. So Gary, come on up really quick, talk about Fiesta Hermosa, and mention something about what Al Maritsucci's probably going to be up to before the end of the month of May. Okay, everybody give a hand for Gary Malenik.
It's that time of year. Some of you already signed up. Those who haven't, if you're interested, it's our annual Hermosa Beach Fiesta. We have a booth there. The Democrats have a booth there. We need bodies. We need bodies. And so there's a lot of empty spaces here. If anybody can fill one, we'll be happy to have you. So I know you guys probably won't, but it's okay. Pass it around.
It's Hermosa Beach, so even if you don't live here, you should go.
It's beautiful.
Come on, it's beautiful.
He wants me to mention Al Maritsucci's coming out this whole and making himself accessible.
He's the Democrat who beat David Hadley, okay, guys?
At a place called The Great Room. It's in Redondo Beach, North Redondo, on Artesia. We're a little bit confused about the date, but I believe it's Saturday, the 27th at 9 o'clock. You'll have to check his website.
Quickly, who lives in the 66th Assembly District? Okay.
Do you know the exact date and time
Okay.
that the Maritsucci...
California?
Well, yeah, of course, if you're in there. So please
I
make
think
sure.
it's the 27th,
Okay,
9 o'clock.
I could check
For
that
only an
again.
hour and a half, he's going to make it.
So we want to be there in large numbers and harass him about raising our gas taxes, opening up our borders, and just about everything else he's done.
No justice, no peace. Right?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we want to hang that around their necks, just like we're going after Josh Newman right now. Okay, so with that, my last guest speaker before Matthew, you speak at the end then, that's fine. Come on up, Claude. He's the president of the Torrance-Flamita Republican Assembly. Please give him a round of applause. He's going to talk about the meeting coming up on Sunday. Absolutely, we're starting to bring the teams together again, so this is really good. I like that shirt. There you go.
Thank you.
Well, Arthur and I have something in common. We both have Omar Navarro as our vice president.
Yes.
Yes. And we all want Omar to beat Maxine Waters. Kick some butt, Omar! On Sunday, we're having Rochelle Mann speak at the Torrance-Flamita Republican Assembly meeting at the Torrance Airport Reading Room at 3 to 5 p.m. And her topic is going to be basic concepts of Islam and the mentality of the jihadis. So I hope you guys are able to come. Most of you, I think, are already familiar with Rochelle. She, great subject, and hope you can come. We serve cookies and soft drinks and water at halftime, which is around 4 o'clock. And everything is free, so we don't ask for anything. And one of the things we do is we sell stuff, and right now we have Drain the Swamp decals. 1 for 3, 2 for 5. So I hope you can support us. Thank you.
All right. And
Arthur, if you come on Sunday, I'll give you the courtesy you just gave me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because we, us clubs, have to work together. If we don't work together, we're not going to help make California shine again. And we got to stop attacking each other like what happened to Arthur with the LA County GOP. There was no reason for him to get his charter pulled. That's BS. You all know it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We should be kicking Democratic ass and not our own.
Thank you so much. And Claude is an immigrant. How many of you are immigrants? Okay, and not in the left-wing sense of you're not indigenous, okay? Because that's a crap I get all the time. We're all immigrants. No, I was born here. Thank you very much. So, but if you came here, again, raise your hand if you are, absolutely, okay, so it's offensive that they want to open up the borders and give a fast track to illegals who are living on public assistance and they're claiming family in Mexico or in Honduras or in any other country. Excuse me? I don't think so. Americans first. Yes. And there are so many stories I've heard from you, how long it took to become a citizen. You prize citizenship, and they want to wash it away. We're not having that. No. Quickly, yes.
My parents came here in 1958 legally, and they had to show that they weren't going to be mooching off of the U.S. taxpayer.
Same thing for you, right, Agnes? Yeah.
And every January we had to register with a card that was sent in saying where we lived, what our citizenship was, and etc. And sometime around 1965, that stopped.
Absolutely. So, yes.
I just want to say, I'm the daughter of immigrants. They have green cards. That's why they were immigrants. And I get so mad when they say illegal aliens are immigrants.
That's really offensive. Okay, immigrant implies legality. Okay, so please do not tell me about undocumented. They're not pieces of paper. Okay, they have a moral standing, and it's a bad one if they come illegally. Now, these are this is my special guest today. Guests. Okay, Robin Hvidston has been here before as a guest of sorts, along with American First Latinos, but we're focusing on the Remembrance Project today. Just let me give a brief intro. I've got to do what I can. So Robin's been part of this national coalition, the Remembrance Project. Putting it in a limited sense, this is a group which champions the friends and family of Americans who have lost loved ones to illegal aliens. And they are a group that has not had a voice in Washington. With Obama, even with Bush, there was only one presidential candidate who honored their group and their commitment, and it was Donald Trump.
That's right.
And that was what got me on board positively with Trump, was the Remembrance Project. So, without any further ado, we have people from all over Southern California here. Please give a round of applause for Robin Hvidston and the Remembrance Project.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, everyone. We are very, very happy to be here tonight. I am the California State Coordinator for the Remembrance Project, and our organization memorializes and honors American citizens killed by those illegally in our country. Our founder, Maria Espinosa of Hvidston, Texas, started the Remembrance Project when an officer was killed in her city and there was very little media coverage or information about it. She began the project, and as you can see, she came up with the concept of memorializing those that are killed. Why don't you guys go around on the sides, either side. With the quilt that, hello? That,
Something happened to the microphone.
Somebody stepped on the cord.
Oh, sorry. Someone knocked out the cord. Okay. It's okay.
So Maria Espinosa has been on national TV. You've maybe seen her on Fox News, radio. She is an amazing woman. She took the quilts on a tour for 25 states, calling upon governors to enforce the laws. Why don't you guys go along the side of the
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
And she also is responsible for many new initiatives. She has worked nationally. When Donald Trump was the candidate for president, she approached him and asked for him to partner with the Remembrance Project. And in July 2015, Donald Trump came to Los Angeles and he did a rally. But he also held a press conference and met with 5 family members of the Remembrance Project. And we got to attend the conference. He held it in a beautiful hotel in Beverly Hills, and he sat down in a private room with the family members and he listened to them. It was about an hour that he spent with these family members, and they just poured out their hearts to him. And afterwards, when we came out of the meeting room, he was mobbed like a rock star. It was very incredible. And during the press conference, he allowed each of the family members to speak as long as they found necessary. So it was an amazing experience. And Agnes will talk more about Donald Trump. She's met him personally. We also went on, I'm going to pass around a book. We also went on to go on stage with Donald Trump in Costa Mesa. Yes, Las Vegas and Henderson. So I'm going to pass this around. Raul Rodriguez made us this notebook, and you can see some of the photos and the newspaper articles with the Remembrance Project. So Maria Espinosa notified us that she was going to be holding a national conference in Hvidston. And this was when we were still getting to know Donald Trump. And she told us she was going to have me be the keynote speaker. 6 months later, he was the keynote speaker at the first national conference. And Agnes will talk more about that as well. Another very important initiative that our founder, Maria Espinosa, created was she was looking for a program, a national program, to help the family members who have lost their loved ones. For example, when you lose your child to a person who's in the country illegally, you have unexpected burial expenses, court costs, you need counseling. So she worked diligently. She met with governors, the governor of Texas, and other state officials to initiate a national program of that magnitude. She, during the presidential campaign, wrote up an initiative and she submitted it to every presidential candidate. Only one candidate signed on for the program, and that was Mr. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So, again, the issue of the loss of an American citizen to someone in our country illegally is that it was totally preventable. If our laws were enforced, those loved ones would still be with us today. And as Maria has progressed, we now have a program, a national program called Voice, which she has been very much an advocate and an advisory role for this program. It's for the victims of illegal alien crime, and she is actually an advisor in this program. So she took this from the ground floor all the way to a position where now there is national assistance for the citizens that find themselves in this horrible predicament. We also have one of our members, Betty Robinson. I'd like her to come up, and we would like to just give you an example of how many Americans have been killed by those here illegally. There is no government crime statistic kept on this issue. So Betty has done research through newspaper articles, calling up sheriff's departments, and she will tell you that story. Hi.
I'm not related to Kate Steinle, but there's a special place in my heart for her. My son lives in San Francisco, and when we go to visit him, we usually shop and have lunch at the Ferry Building, and that's right next to Pier 14, where Kate Steinle was killed. I happened to be there a few days after her death, and as my son and I went to that pier to pay our respects, we saw the impromptu memorial. Oh, I've got pictures back here if you want to look. I imagine that day would have been similar to what Kate and her father experienced. It was gorgeous. The weather was moderate, the nice breeze was there, beautiful clear sky, then a gun fired and Kate died in her father's arms. So now we are feeding and housing the 5 times deported killer who had 7 previous convictions, while Kate's parents are forever shattered. Similar stories like this one have been repeated too many times to count. Since Kate's death, I've been keeping a list of those killed by illegal aliens. This list is now up to 145. But we know that number is actually much greater because the information regarding immigration status is suppressed, mostly thanks to Janet Napolitano when she was the DHS secretary. The media likes to ignore the issue too. Thank goodness the Trump administration is moving to release more information about deportations, sanctuary cities, and the disposition of criminal illegal aliens. And here is my list.
What is that list about?
What is that list about?
These are citizens who have been killed by illegal aliens since Kate Steinle's death. Wow. That we know of, and it's very difficult information to obtain. That information, as I said, is suppressed. So this could be anybody. I mean, you see the names. They're all walks of life. They're all ages. And it could be your mother, sister, brother. So that's why we are so thankful to President Trump.
Yes, with President Trump, as he's met with the family members, he has told them that he will be their champion in the White House. So it is a new day. We are very grateful that President Trump has always taken an interest and been that champion for our families. I'm going to turn the time over to our angel mom, Agnes, in just a moment, but I would just like to first talk about the shirt I'm wearing. This is DeAndre Mitchell. Are you familiar with the fire that was set in LA on June 13, 2016 that killed 5 Americans?
Megan, I'm sorry to interrupt. You are the first one to tip me off to that story, by the way. I didn't even know about it until she had sent it to me. I just want to tell you my side of it.
Yes, DeAndre Mitchell was one of those 5 Americans that lost his life. The illegal had been in the country committing crimes, drug arrests. He kicked a woman in the head 10 times. He was allowed to stay in this country until the magnitude of his crime, he killed 5 Americans, including DeAndre Mitchell. And one little tidbit, it happened in Kevin De Leon's district.
Robin, how were they killed?
There was an abandoned warehouse, and this illegal was in a fight with another individual, and he attempted to start a fire as he got into a fight, set the entire building on fire. And the people on the street tell us that DeAndre Mitchell went into the building to save people. So this man is a hero. And without further ado, I'm going to now introduce our angel mom, Agnes Givney. She is an amazing person.